Hi everyone, this is Brian with Sampleso, and I am very excited to introduce our very first library called Carpentry Tools. Now, Carpentry Tools starts our line of odd and unusual instruments that you'll find that we very much enjoy making and sampling. So this library contains all sorts of melodic and percussive sounds that are found in a wood workshop. So we went to a friend's workshop and grabbed a microphone and sampled anything that sounded cool or interesting or usable to us. So let me run really quick over the individual patches that are in this library. So the first patch is the dry percussive kit. Now this patch ranges from low impact to kick and snare like sounds, some metal and drill bits, and some hi-hat-ish sounds. So let me just play you a bunch of stuff from this patch. So these were kind of the kick and snare-ish sounds. We have even more sounds, some cans and more interesting sounds. These are the metals, so you can use them as a hi-hat as well. Forgive my terrible drumming. Going up the keyboard, we have a drawer closing and some drill bits, and I really like these. These are really nice to add to your hi-hat or as a rhythmic tool. These are awesome. And these sounds are awesome to add to your synth. If this fits into your track's key, this is awesome to use. Going forward, we have the engine chromatic. Now, the engine chromatic, I think it's a drill engine, and it's just one note mapped across the keyboard, but it's mapped in a way that if you play a chord, all of the notes will end at the same time. So of course, if you play the chord at the same time, if you play them in different positions, they will end in different times, but they are all the exact same length across the keyboard, so you can get really nice results. And you can also use this as a lead. And if you apply to the lower notes some distortion, it sounds really awesome. So let's go forward with the patches. We have rasp sequence. Now, this is just a sample of a wooden rasp at 105 BPM. It won't sync to your host's tempo, but we do have the slices. So this is the sample. So it's kind of a 16th note kind of feel, but you have... And you can use these however you like. So it doesn't have to be 105 BPM. If your track is in 120, you can just play it in 120 because you have these slices to go with your track. 2 octaves below that, we have half of that speed. So yeah, so if you want to get some slower stuff, you have the option, and also you have those slices as well. So if you want to get some slow action going on in your track, you have that option as well. Going up, we have the scoring. These are more drills and drill bits, but these are just more melodic. So let me just give you a sample. So really nice sound to them. In one of the demos, I used this with a really hard tremolo effect and some distortion and got some insane sounding synth-like sound. Going forward, we have the small bell chromatic. This is a metal sounding tool that we found that created this really interesting pitch, and we mapped this across the keyboard. And a quick word of advice, you should definitely put some reverb on this patch and you will get... I love the sound of this patch with the reverb on. And if you go up the keyboard, it gets a little bit freaky, but really, really interesting. So if you add a reverb, you can get really nice ambient stuff. Okay, going up, we have the various sustained sounds. So we're getting into the more aggressive territory of stuff. One word of advice is to check out the lower octaves. There is more to this patch than meets the eye at first glance. So do click on that octave down button on your keyboard because it's kind of a hidden feature and you get this really awesome sounding engine drop. So yeah, absolutely cool. Going forward, we have the Venta Chromatic. This is just a vent sampled and stretched across the keyboard, but the air that was going through the vent gives it a really nice sound. So you can get really nice pads and drones out of this patch, but if you use some distortion on this in the lower register, you can get some gnarly sounding basses and some sound design. So moving forward to our last patch, which is the wet percussion kit, which is very, very similar to the dry percussion kit. You have the medals and all the cans, but we picked a really nice river to complement these percussive sounds. It is not exactly the same. On the top of the register, I'm sorry, I was I was getting inspired there for a moment. This is a really nice patch. Yeah, I love the top of the keyboard range there. It's a sound that you don't get with a dry percussion kit, and I think it sounds awesome. And that sums up this library. I really hope you like it. Go check out the demos. It will give you a sense of what can be achieved with this library. It's really versatile. We use sounds only from this library, so imagine what you can achieve if you use your own sounds layered with these. The results can be really impressive. Anyway, I am Brian with Sampleso. See you later.